This is 6 News at 5.
Well, here's another one. You can see it forming.
Right now at 5, Temple torn apart, hundreds of homes damaged or destroyed, dozens injured by a confirmed EF2 tornado.
We're prepared. It's going to take a while, but we are prepared for this, and the city of Temple will be just fine.
Businesses up and down West Adams wiped out, but amidst the destruction are miraculous stories of survival.
Yeah, no, just like I said, lucky to be alive because you don't see a lot of people walk away from these.
And a father of 2, just one of hundreds who must now move forward and start to rebuild. But first, the storm threat, sadly, is not done. Chief Meteorologist Matt Farrell is tracking it all for us right now. Good evening, Central Texas. Welcome in. Hope you're safe. I'm Chris Radcliffe.
And I'm Lindsay Littman. Thanks for joining us tonight. Chief Meteorologist Matt Farrell with more on that new information, as well as a look at what's happening out there right now. Matt?
Hey y'all, yeah, so like you said off the top, it has been preliminarily rated an EF2 tornado for West Adams. I've been hesitant to use the word tornado all day until the damage survey crews were able to get out there. I know we've seen a lot of the video, but some of the damage that we've seen can be caused by straight line winds too. So again, a little hesitant, but as soon as the survey crews came out with that information, a little bit more confident in saying that now. Those maximum winds in West Adams up to 120 miles per hour, and of course crews are still surveying at this hour. Been a long day for the National Weather Service crews because they've had to fight traffic, they've had to fight impassable roads, and of course the rain that keeps moving through the area as well. We've had a few storms today that have been borderline severe, pocket change up to quarter-sized hail. That is not the case right now. Just a few pockets of pretty heavy rainfall, unfortunately. Again, the one thing that we can't get away from the last few weeks is the rain. Right now, some of the heaviest rain falling are in parts of Navarro County. As I put this in motion, a lot of this is moving off to the east-northeast, so if you're in Navarro County, still more rain incoming for you there, so keep that in mind. Flooding threat is still there because the ground is, as we've said at length for the last couple of weeks, saturated. If you're in Temple, you just heard the storms come through here. A little bit short-lived as this storm is moving off to the north fairly rapidly, so this is going to move up into Bruceville Eddy. A little bit of rain expected there here in the next several minutes as well. We will see this come to an end this evening as we head towards 8, 9, 10 o'clock, but then we bring it all back again tomorrow for another round of showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be severe. I'll have more on that coming up in your full weather forecast.
Wow, we're not done yet. Thank you, Matt. Well, right now, Bell County and the city of Temple have both declared a state of disaster, which is actually going to help with recovery. There's no question that the wreckage left behind is devastating.
There's a lot of new information coming out about the extensive damage the city of Temple and neighboring communities are dealing with tonight. 6 News anchor Bailey Bates joining us live from downtown Temple, where a roof of a very popular restaurant completely collapsed. Bailey?
Yeah, Lindsay and Chris, we're bringing you a inside look, a live look of what Pignetti's in downtown Temple looks like. And as you can see, there are several crews here cleaning up this mess. There's 4 large dumpsters outside. What happened here last night was so much rain gathered on top of this roof, the ceiling of this restaurant, and not help with the wind, of course, it all came tumbling down. It washed out this entire restaurant here. Wine bottles are shattered. There's wood and HVAC air ducts hanging from the ceiling, and it's just quite a mess. That's what many across Temple are dealing with tonight, and this is just one of the many businesses that has been impacted by the storms yesterday. City of Temple leaders held a press conference, their first press conference from the storm, to give some reassurance to the City of Temple of what comes next. Central Texans reeling as destructive storms create heartache.
We're a resilient community.
Temple Mayor Tim Davis providing a sense of reassurance for citizens as the damage comes full picture.
Even though property damage was extensive, the most important thing, that being the lives of our neighbors, where everyone seems to be in good order there.
Assessments from west to south to East Temple are underway.
We had over 500 homes and businesses impacted in some way, shape, or form, from minor roof damage or tree damage to major structural damage and potentially even destroyed the structure.
Over 30 injuries reported from Wednesday's storm. and many people being forced to find shelter elsewhere.
We have opened a shelter location at the Wilson Recreation Center at 2205 Curtis B. Elliott Drive.
Encore says restoration is in progress, but not everyone will be back up so soon.
Just because our infrastructure and our equipment has been fixed, some houses will not be able to receive power after that. Some houses will require private electricians to come in. They will also require, in some cases, city inspections to be done.
Crews and first responders asking you to stay home to keep the area from being gridlocked and slowing down the process.
You were slowing down first responders, and you were slowing down various service providers who are trying to restore the normal access to services that we so enjoy.
While Central Texas is in recovery for the foreseeable future.
This is going to take some time to get cleaned up, to get people back in their homes that have suffered significant damage, businesses that have experienced some significant damage as well. They're not going to be in operation for a while.
And city leaders remind everyone about the power of resiliency and support.
We have observed neighbor helping neighbor, neighbor helping friends, and neighbors helping strangers.
The biggest takeaway from all of this, stay home if you can. We are bringing you the pictures, the videos, and just the image of what happened from this storm last night. And just stay here, keep updated with us to see all of that so you don't have to get out and bother our first responders trying to help all of us get back together. Guys.
All right, Bailey Bates reporting live from what used to be Pignetti's. Incredible. Thank you, Bailey. Well, just under an hour ago, the National Weather Service confirmed a tornado with an EF2 rating.
The National Weather Service is in Temple right now, surveying the damage to determine the true extent of it.
But the damage may not have been caused just by a tornado, which can be almost unbelievable, especially when you see videos like this here. Meteorologist Aviana Smith joins us now to explain how powerful winds can actually make a real impact. Aviana?
That is true. So we're going to break down the difference between tornadoes and straight line winds, because those straight line winds can be just as damaging as a tornado. And so here is the difference. So we know a tornado can be seen as debris is aloft into the air, or the signification of a funnel cloud. It is a rotating thunderstorm. That's the main difference when we talk about tornadoes and straight line winds, is that a tornado is rotating. We're looking for circulation, and it can also has four components that is needed in order for a tornado to form. That is lift, instability, moisture, as well as wind shear. Now, when we're talking straight line winds, it does stem from a thunderstorm. And if you ever hear us say the term downburst, that's what we're referring to as straight line winds as well. But it starts as a thunderstorm in the downdraft. So downburst, downdraft, that's how you can remember. And drier air pulls in the upper levels. And once the air can no longer rise, that's when it falls and as the outflow, and thus when we see those strong straight line winds that could see winds up to at least hurricane strength or tornado strength. And as in this case, that EF2 tornado with max sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. So those straight line winds are just as strong as tornado winds, and then most of the time, and again, straight line, the debris falls in a more linear path. So that's the difference between tornadoes and straight line winds. Both can be just as dangerous as well as deadly. Back to y'all at the desk.
Aviana, thank you so much. Very informative.
Yeah. Meanwhile, tonight, an incredible story of a storm survivor. This is amazing. One Temple man was driving his truck along West Adams when the storm flipped it through the air.
His truck landed in front of a bank and he was able to escape. 6 News reporter Sydney Deshawn is live off West Adams where it all happened. Sydney, tell us.
Yeah, guys, I'm right off West Adams in Temple. It's one of the places where we have seen the most severe damage. Now, behind me here is actually a truck that's completely turned upside down. This truck belongs to Ryan Lemur. He was inside of his vehicle when the tornado hit, and he was somehow able to make it out alive.
My car skipped between this gap right here and came, or potentially over the cars. My truck got picked up by the tornado.
Ryan Lemur is a 27-year-old father in Temple whose life was almost cut short.
I was coming down Adams and I started to see those black clouds rolling in.
He turned around and started seeing power lines explode.
It was like big flashes of white. I thought it was lightning, and then I saw one explode in front of me and realized that's what I was seeing that whole time.
Within seconds.
Next thing I knew, I guess I was in the air.
Lemur believes it's likely he flew over multiple lanes.
That's why I'm pretty sure I got picked up and carried, because I was rolling and I think I hit the ground and got picked back up and hit the ground and got picked back up.
His truck and him later landing in this parking lot.
Hit the ground, kind of got my way out of my seat and laid there for a second, collected myself, and then I saw a light come on like in my peripheral. I was just like, I'm dead. Like I was thinking about my son and I was like, I'm dead. Like that's it.
All he could think of was running. He did anything to survive.
So I freaked out and pulled myself through the back windshield, was able to crawl out of there, and it was pretty tight squeeze. Once I made it out, I just rolled out from right here and ran into the bank right there. It's crazy that I was even able to get in there because, everything down this way was closed and locked up. Everything down this way was closed and locked up. If it wasn't for that bank interest getting ripped off, I'd have been stuck out in it.
He's just grateful to be alive today, but more importantly, that his son wasn't with him.
I was supposed to pick him up yesterday. His car seat's over here in the wreckage somewhere. That's the first thing I saw when everything calmed down. I looked over there and seen his car seat about 20 feet from the truck, and I was just, grateful. Like I said, grateful to be alive.
Again, Lemur is okay. He has a few scratches and his body is sore, but other than that, nothing is broken. Again, he is just thankful to be alive today. For now, live in Temple, Sydney Deshawn, 6 News.
Yeah, and that car seat gives every parent chills. Wow. Thanks so much, Sydney.
Incredible story. Thank you, Sydney. Meanwhile, several businesses across Temple were severely damaged by wind and debris from yesterday's severe storms and, of course, that now confirmed tornado.
Even those seeking shelter away from home felt Mother Nature's wrath. 6 News reporter Mike Rogers has that story.
From disengaging power lines with their electricity to picking up random debris and clearing the sidewalks for use, once again, crews have been working tirelessly since the early morning hours to clean up in the aftermath of the tornado that ripped through Temple. Gregory Francisco and his men from Groundhog Construction are digging the holes by hand to restore power to Temple.
That way, the pole setters come behind us and set the poles. It makes their job a whole lot faster and safer.
Between Temple, Belton, and Killeen, his crews are working to restore over 100 downed utility poles in the aftermath of the tornado.
Completely new poles. Everything here will be brand new. New wire, new cross arms, new poles.
Further down the road, off Scott Boulevard at the Hilton Garden Inn, more of the devastating aftermath awaits.
It sounded like a train coming through.
Gil Alvarez said he was one of around 50 people huddled in the hotel's ballroom when the tornado ripped the building's awning clean off.
And a lot of people had their phones and they were looking at the weather. Yeah, it was a little frightening, but at the same time, I think we were safe.
The rubble even going airborne.
I looked at my car and there was some paneling between that white truck and my car. So I tried to get that paneling off and no, that thing's heavy.
The hotel says no one was hurt and no vehicles were seriously damaged, and there's no word on when it will reopen to the public, as an estimation on replacing the awning leading to their lobby is yet to be seen. For Francisco and his crew, he says all that's left to do is pick up the pieces.
To me, it just makes me feel good when we come out here and I can say we did this.
And after this kind of devastation, linemen I spoke with say there's no timeline on when this job will be done, only until all debris is picked up and the power is back on for the city. In Temple, Mike Rogers, 6 News.
And just driving around Temple today, there were people everywhere cleaning up debris and preparing to get with their insurance companies. I spoke with some of those hit hard by the storm.
Like it's a Wizard of Oz deal. I felt like the whole house was about to blow up, in circles. Hail about this size, so I had to clean that whole entire front porch out.
For Iraq war veteran Michael Morales, he said the storm actually gave him PTSD.
It gave me the flashback of it, yes, sir. This whole place is flooded. It's not like the way how it is now. It is flooded, and I gave the temple props for actually clearing this up really quick in 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour. They actually cleared this.
Last night or this morning?
Last night.
His neighbor Terry went into the bathroom of his home to seek shelter.
When I heard the storm, sir, I felt that it was going to pass. But as soon as the winds gradually picked up, had nothing else to do but to relate back into my bathroom where it had no glass. As you can see, I have busted windows on the house.
Southern California native Michael Whitfield had a huge tree come down, bringing down utilities along with it.
I got a few hours of sleep in between. I try to keep the generator running and everything, but it happens, the storm came and this time we got hit with it. So.
You ever see a storm like that?
No. Well, I'm born and raised in California. This Texas stuff is, you know, I've been here 35 years, but still it's something getting used to.
Definitely a historic storm for Temple. Chris, thanks. Still to come on 6 News at 5, we hear from homeowners dealing with the damage and the importance of leaning on your neighbors.
And we've still got Chief Meteorologist Matt Farrell standing by with your forecast. It's still very active out there. Details on the way.